Four wickets for Sophie Eccleston, two for Jhulan Goswami, two for Rajeshwari Gaikwad. Velocity were fun. Velocity found themselves in a web of spin in the second match of Women's T20 Challenge. Welcome to Avnir presents the Outside View part by WTF Sports. As usual, I have Gouher Sultana and Ananya Upendran with me. Gouher, your first assessment, your left-arm spinners league received a major boost as 4 wickets for Sophie Eccleston, Eccleston or Eccleston. What do you go ahead with?
She was outstanding, as we will have seen. Right from the first ball that delivered, it really looked like she didn't miss out any of those 7 months of out of practice or out of match practice and things like that. But the way she started off, I think just 1 6 that Shefali could manage to hit. Other than that, I think she was spot on in all the deliveries. And as I said earlier, she attacks the stump. She's that kind of a bowler who attacks the stumps, and she gets that variation along on the stump. So that's given her those 4 brilliant wickets. I think she was outstanding today.
Sophie Eccleston, remember, is the number one ranked bowler in ICC's T20I bowling charts, Ananya, and she did bowl like one, isn't it? Velocity could not have answers to whatever she threw, be it arm ball, be it the one that turned, be it puller one, be it shorter one. They tried cutting, they tried defending, nothing worked, and it was a day that Eccleston will probably remember as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, she was brilliant, as Gouher said. I mean, I think she attacked the stumps wonderfully well, and I mean, I don't think Velocity batted very well. I think it just seemed like they were really jaded. They were kind of hungover from like their brains hadn't started working, because a lot of the shots were very strange. They're trying to cut balls off the off stump or just glide them on a wicket where there was absolutely no pace. So the understanding of where your runs are coming from on a slow wicket, I did not understand that, as well as Eccleston and Rajeshwari Gaikwad, and of course Jhulan Goswami bowled. I don't think Velocity really helped their case at all.
Well, they were right on the money if you talk about Trailblazers bowlers in this. Jhulan Goswami, while at one end she kept things tight, from the other end there was Eccleston, who was not just keeping things tight, but spinners are kind of seen as easy fodder for attacking batters like Daniel Wyatt and Shefali Verma. Both couldn't get going either against Jhulan or against Eccleston. So tactically speaking, that's a move that paid well for Smriti, isn't it, Gouher?
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, the way they were attacking the stumps, both of them. I think instead of playing maybe the batters could have tried playing with the straight bat and given the full face of the bat to the balls pitching on the stumps, rather than trying to slice those balls. And we have similar dismissals in Shefali Verma, Veda Krishnamurthy, and Sushma Verma. Those were similar kind of dismissals where they were trying to slice the ball, or maybe find that gap between the keeper and third man, which is not the right thing to do for the balls pitching on the stumps. So maybe they could have done better and played those balls with the full face of the bat.
So was it the success of Sophie Eccleston as a result of her lines and length? Because remember, she tried and attacked the stumps. Out of her 4 dismissals, 2 are clean bowl, 2 are LBW. So is that a conscious effort that perhaps Ekta Bisht can follow in the second innings, or was it something else as well, Gouher?
I think yes, Ekta will definitely try to do the same, and she is a kind of bowler, and that's her strength. She also tries to attack the stumps, and she's spot on there with her line and length, as we saw even in the last game. So I think she'll probably get the new ball, looking at the score that they don't have too many runs to defend. I think she's going to go in with the new ball and try getting those LBWs and bowl with her arm balls and that side arm deliveries that she's very good at.
And you had Shami took out in the first innings. If you look at the scorecard, she's the highest score is of Shefali Verma, 13 from 9. You spoke briefly about what batters could have done different, but what is it that really hampered the top order, especially because that's perhaps where Velocity lost the plot. The start was really awful.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was just very bad shot selection from the top order. I don't think they. I think apart from Danny Wyatt, who was actually going at the ball and got caught at mid-off, everyone else was trying to play behind square. And you normally associate shots behind square when there's space on the ball, when you have something to use. Whereas when there's absolutely nothing on the ball, you're better off probably playing straight up in the V and maybe towards covers and mid wicket. So I think the shot selection was very bad. And I mean, Shefali Verma, you do not associate a glide past point with Shefali Verma. That is just not something she does. So I just found it very strange. She's someone who goes at the ball. She likes to play down the ground. So it seemed like a very uncharacteristic shot. And like I said, it just seemed like the batters their heads just were not in it. Whether you can that was due to fatigue or whatever it was, they just weren't in the middle at all.
In the IPL, the men's tournament, whenever there are these low scores or nearby or thereabouts, there's always the one game where Royal Challengers Bangalore were bowled out for 49. That's been thrown up. But will this Velocity's 47 all out have a similar impact? What do you think, Ananya?
Yeah, well, I mean, it will. It was such a helter-skelter thing. I mean, before you knew it, they were already 5 down, and the power play had just gotten over, and we were wondering, okay, what is happening? Maybe Shikha Pandey and Lee Kasparek or Sunil will kind of settle it down. Maybe they will stem the flow of wickets, even if they play out a few quiet overs. But that wasn't the case. It just went from bad to worse, and everything that could have gone wrong for Velocity went wrong. I mean, that run out of Shikha Pandey was very unnecessary. It was like the batters didn't know what the other wanted to do. I cannot find an explanation for this batting display, but yeah, this is going to be just one of those games they want to wipe from their memory.
Even yesterday against Supernova, we saw Velocity placed at 7 for 50 last week. Coming back to it because of the heroics of Sunil and Sushma Verma, and of course, that really changed the game. But talking about today, that wasn't to be. Once Sunil was dismissed, there was really nowhere to go for them. But talking about the chase, 48 to win, there's hardly nothing that you can as a team perhaps speak. But Gouher, what would the spinner's mindset be? Because remember, just 48, it could be a matter of, say, a power play if Smriti and perhaps Chanda Dot, whoever opens with, it could be just a matter of time before those people knock the runs out. But as a spinner, what would you tell yourself? How would you approach this inning?
Probably it's such a small total that it's you can't think of anything else but to attack and get those early wickets, and the only way to win this game for Velocity is to take those 10 wickets, because you cannot allow them to allow the batters to settle in and play out the overs, because it's such a small total that they will have to attack the stumps and go for those attacking field placements and get the batsman out. That's the only way out right now. Whoever's coming into bowl, and for me, I think Velocity should open with Ektabit and Lee Kasparek maybe.
Interesting. Yesterday we got a question from one of our viewers asking whether NRR will come to play. And Ananya, coming to you, will that be in focus for Smriti and team, because they have blasters at the top, at the middle as well? So what do you see? I mean, who do you see open the batting for Trailblazers along with Smriti Mandhana?
Well, I think Dotton was penciled in open with Smriti Mandhana. I would, considering the low total, like to see Natakan Chandam up. Just just give her, I suppose, the exposure and allow her to play. And at the other end, you have Smriti who can take control of the chase. This is my personal opinion. This is what I would want to do. But yeah, maybe with that net run rate in their minds, they may just allow Dotton to go out there and go bish bosh bash.
Right then, 48 to win, 20 overs in hand. Again, I pose that difficult question. Prediction time. Gouher, do you see, first of all, wickets falling in this innings? And if so, who to pick, who get in the wickets column?
Definitely. I mean, it's again Ekta Bish for me because she's very good with that new ball, and the way she gets the ball to skid through, and there's not much of a bounce for a batsman. It's not easy when it keeps low and skids through. So I think it's Ekta Bish.
Remember, Ananya, Gouher hasn't got too many things wrong. Just the result part, we can sort of exclude that yesterday she backed Supernova, but you backing Velocity, but not in the driver's seat. What's your prediction? Will they be able to pick up wickets, or it's going to be a 10-wicket win for Trailblazers?
Well, I think, like she said, Ekta Bish with the new ball is going to be a tricky customer. So if Velocity have to even, suppose, mount a challenge, she'll have to rip through that top order and probably get 5 or 6 wickets. So I would back her to get at least a couple of wickets because she's very difficult to play with the new ball. So I think it may not be a 10-wicket win, maybe like a 7 or hopefully a 7 or a 6-wicket win. They delay as much as they can. So I mean, I don't see Velocity being able to defend this.
Right. Before wrapping up, let's talk a bit about Sushri Divya Darshini Gouher, because remember, in a high-profile tournament like this, she's had a lot of success in domestic tournaments, the T20 Challengers or the domestic T20 tournament. But in a high-profile tournament like this, one, she did not start yesterday in the first match. Today she comes in the second game, which could, as we always say, could be the last match for Velocity if the other results don't go their way. So as a youngster, she comes in, she faces an informed Rajeshwari Gaikwad, gets trapped in front, burns the review. Going into the second inning, what kind of mindset will she have, and how do you think will she go about with her bowling?
I guess she's a very clever bowler, and I don't think she's going to take any kind of pressure because I have actually seen her play. So I think the way and the kind of bowling style she has, it suits this kind of track. So I think she'll be pretty confident of and having Smriti Mandhana at the top, and if she gets a chance to bowl at her, I think she'll probably try to toss up the ball and trouble Smriti Mandhana, or let her go against the spin, and she might get a wicket or two.
Right then, 48 is the target. Remember, new mythical figure if you consider India's T20 league, not 49 anymore. With 48 to win for Trailblazers, they are just stepping onto the park. Let's see what happens and see you after the game. And remember to throw in your questions and comments. We'll take them towards the end of the post-match show on Avnir Presents The Outside View, powered by WTF Sport.